Hey everybody, this is take three. I'm trying to keep this quiet and brief, I should say. Just a quick update about what's going on with me and, uh, and Enochian and all of that. I know I've been gone for a little while, but I'm still alive as of the time you see this video. um, So the first big update is that I'm writing a book on Enochian. I know I put up a video and then took it down because it wasn't quite coming together, but now it kind of is, and I'm feeling more of the good astrological push and nudge from Saturn and from Neptune to get this done. Mainly because I don't know. I'm at this point now where it's like just with the disability I've encountered, mainly this fatigue, I'm realizing, okay, what can I get done, you know, for the rest of my life? I haven't really had any um, major side things. I haven't been posting as much, certainly on Enochian.today, but also on this YouTube site in a while, and I'm aware of that. But definitely on the blog, I haven't done as much. Part of that is, again, just the fatigue, and I would certainly be happy to post more if I had the energy to. So I'm doing pushing myself a little bit tonight to reach out and say, hey. So I've been writing a book on Enochian, and it's going pretty well. It's got 32,000 words so far, and I'm finding myself trying to both integrate the good stuff that I've learned and also, from other authors. And there's a lot of good stuff. I'm definitely going to have a lot of further reading portions at the end of each chapter in the book, as well as applicable. I'm going to touch on a lot of topics, but I am mainly trying to have this be a primer or a primer, depending on how you pronounce that word, on Enochian, so that if you're a beginner, here's here's how you can get started, right? And it'll just be kind of probably more directive, just do this, do that, but I'm also going to have to add in language saying, hey, you can try other stuff too. It's all sort of happening, but it's taking a little while. This is definitely in the first draft phase, but so far 32,000 words. I still have to drop in some other stuff, but so far I've gotten the heptarchy and started on the aethers, and I've also written up stuff about the tools. I'm not going to go into as much detail as probably a lot of people would like. I'm going to leave that for the further reading, because I my main thing is, how can I have a big introduction to this huge system of magic and not like overwhelm folks. So it's going to be a lot of almost like bullet points, and then here's how you can read more. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Here's how you read more. That's the intent, just to make it seem approachable. So that's what's going on there. A little update on my health. First of all, thank you all so much for your prayers and for your support. It really means so much to me, for everybody, and the words of encouragement. I mean, it's just hard. You realize, oh, suddenly, this thing that this great feeling and this energy and blah blah blah, there is a limit, and whatever God's plan is, it's like, oh, okay, well, this will certainly humble me a little bit more. So that's kind of what I've had going on with me. Just been still physically tired, um, and I'm not sure. I'm not trying to glean, meaning from it necessarily, other than, oh, okay, I better get done the important things. So this book, you know, has sort of become that in the short term, and maybe I'll finish writing a novel that I had started, recently. But the main thing is to try to just get through one thing at a time, and then take the break as needed. I've been getting a little bit bursts of energy, and space has opened up by the angels and by the divine, to get some things done, which is great. And on a good day like today, I got 2,000 words in. That's fantastic. I'm very grateful for that. But that's definitely not what's happening every day. Tomorrow there probably won't be very much space. It's just how it's going. So anyway, that's kind of the big thing that's going on with me magically, is just trying to, be patient. And I haven't been doing as much Enochian work, but I have been, doing some Buddhist work, and even that is a little more difficult just because I'm tired. I'm physically fatigued, but that's okay. And that's just it. Just is something that you have to accept. You can try to like say, rage against that, right? But why? It just is what it is. So as far as like what might be causing that, my heart apparently is fine. I was in the 0th percentile as far as the calcification goes, but they still need to do an echocardiogram. So that's why I say apparently is fine, because who knows, it may not be. The other big news, though, outside of health and all of that, is that we got a couple of kittens, and so they're both here with me, but they're, let me see if I can just tilt this down a little bit. Here's one, and here's the other. You can see both of them right there. This is Nori, and this is Kai. So they are wonderful. They both have just been fixed since we got them, and Kai also had surgery for his broken leg. So he's doing well. He got fixed, and it was about 2.5 weeks ago. So he's still recovering, but he's on the mend. So they've been a nice point of joy and delight. Um, so yeah, other than that, I don't have too much news. Just it's actually one of the easier things. If you have any questions or anything you want to share, as far as Enochian, if it's one of the easier things I can do throughout the day, if you send me something that you would like commentary or just a reaction from, I'm happy to do that. I do have notifications turned on, so just feel free to reach out with whatever. Um, uh, I'm not doing as much of a formal practice, but I am occasionally, I'm praying. Occasionally I'll ask angels, usually the angels of medicine. I'll ask for help for something or other. But they have their limits, and if the divine wants me to be like this, that's okay. Um, I remember once the message I got from God was 1/100th, 1/10 of what Job, or 1/100th of Job's, burden, but his as much his 100 times his blessing. So, and in a lot of ways, I feel like that's kind of what I've gotten, is like, okay, it's a burden, but it's just like, oh, I don't have as much energy to do X, Y, or Z. Well, that's not the worst thing in the world, right? Still living a pretty good life. So anyway, especially with these two kittens, they're wonderful. So anyway, that's what's going on. Apologies for keeping this short, and also apologies for not reaching out as much. But a lot of times, even right now, I'm kind of pushing it a little bit to get this video made. But I know it's been a little while, and some of you are worrying, and don't worry, okay? That would be my main message. Don't worry, be happy, right? Um, but I appreciate that people are worrying, and that's okay. It shows that people care, and that I am moved by that. So let me see if there's anything else. I think that's about it. Yeah, so the main things that I'll be doing coming up magic wise will probably be, in the book I have written up, some alternative means of conjuring. And so I'm just going to be testing those out, beta testing them to see how well they work. I've written them up in my head. It's like, yeah, that should work. But I'm like, let me at least try, see if there's anything if there's another way to go about doing that. Um, so we'll see. I'll try my best to see if those work, and therefore I can say, yes, I found that these things work. All right. Well, much love to you all. I'm gonna go to bed. I took my sleepy stuff a little bit early, but I've also been needing that to try to reset. It's kind of like I get tired and then I just want to make sure I sleep. That's kind of the reason why I take a little bit of melatonin, because it's worse when you wake up and you haven't been able to sleep when you really need it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing next, is going to bed. So thank you all so much. And again, please feel free to reach out. An email is not hard for me to respond to, anything like that. If you ask me to run 5 miles, that's going to be a little bit harder than it was a year ago. So, all right, much love to y'all. Take care.